I'm 89. I'll be 90 in my 90th year. Besides gone, I can see the outline of things, but reading and writing, absolutely, I've got to get everything read to me. And I was born in England. I went first to Christchurch, and on the age of 8, I remember it was on my birthday, Dad got another job in Dunedin, and we travelled to Dunedin, and I spent all my school days there, joined the army there, did all my running there, athletics, and everything really centred in Dunedin, and then I went to Invercargill for a couple of years. But I had to make my mind up. I got to the stage of a reasonably good tennis player, but I had to make my mind up whether I was going to continue to be an athlete and run, or continue with tennis. And I looked at it, well, I can play tennis after I can't run, I can still play tennis. So I stuck to running and finished up, very happy to say, with a record in 1933 for 220 yards. The yards in those days, I was a sprinter, but I'd done long distances prior to that gave me great strength. But that record stood for 21 years, and it took a chap who won the British Empire in those days championship in Canada. Augustini, who was from New South Wales, won the 100 over there in Canada, this was. And this bloke's name was Jowett, name of the motor car, which I had two of, Jowett, and he won the 220. But it was a resident record. If Jowett had come from Christchurch or Invercargill, anywhere, but he came from my hometown, and he was eligible to take my record. Well, I went over in the 10th reinforcements on the New Amsterdam, Queen of the Dutch fleet. 6,000 of us were travelling on this ship. What a prize we'd have been for a German submarine. However, we got there safely to Cairo, where the New Zealand division was situated, a little English city just out of Cairo called Maadi, M-A-A-D-I. And I was in the quartermaster's store. I was one of the oldest soldiers there too, by the way, because I was in my 30s. But the notice was on the routine orders. There was notice there, if you plan, you didn't have a good violinist back in New Zealand and have him sent over and he does his stint and goes home again. They were out of the ranks. I did comedy. I had a good voice in those days and chorus work, but I was there, joined them I finished up a Sherman tank gunnery instructor, and I had 3 tours of duty on that, which was marvellous because it gave me a chance to have a leave to go to the Holy Land. I could go to Port Said, I could go to Alexandria. Well, I hadn't joined then. This came while I was still a quartermaster, and we had a class. How can I say this? Well, they had a big. How can I put it? A terrible hiding in the desert. The German. This was in the west. What do you call it? West Bank or something? Yes. At any rate, they woke up to the fact that we were losing tanks, we were losing men, because each man was only qualified. One was the driver, he could drive. The other was the gunner, he could shoot the guns. One was a wireless operator. Either of those got knocked out, it was up the creek without a paddle.
Okay.
Why they didn't think of this earlier, because we would see our tanks were very fast. they went at 40 miles an hour and they weighed 40 tons. They were a wonderful tank, but the Tiger, the German Tiger, which was heavier than ours, wasn't quite as fast, but they outgunned us, and they could blow us out of the desert. If we got a shot in first, that was good, because we slowed them. However, it was while I was a Sherman tank gunnery instructor that this notice appeared on the headquarters. I applied, but didn't know I'd passed, because I was told afterwards they applied for me immediately. I had the qualifications. When I applied for the job, I said I thought these qualifications might help me become a.
Here's the food.
Here we go.
Yeah. So, what do you reckon is the secret of your longevity? Is it vegetables or being fit when you're young?
I don't know. I've just been lucky, rather, except for this bad surgeon's work. Apart from that, I've been very lucky.
And you still smoke your pipe fairly regularly, I guess?
Yes,
It hasn't.
even in the cold months.
I would live to be 120 if you didn't smoke your pipe.
So when did you come to, or after the war, you toured around the place for another 8 years or so?
There's the show.
Was that in New Zealand or in Australia? Or?
Both. We went from Perth up to Cairns.
And when did you decide to stay in Australia?
Well, I didn't stay then. After the Kiwis folded, we finished up in Auckland. We started the tour in 46 and went to 54. 8 years. We all went home, finished up in Auckland. Very sad and all that, because 8 years, and the crowd still loved us, but we had to pull up a stump somewhere. And I bought my wife a frock shop in Onehunga, a little place just out of Auckland, Maori suburb.